Hi, I'm Dr. Partha, and I'm going to talk to you today about one of the most important components of running, the running shoe. The most important thing in buying a shoe is comfort. Not price, not the discount sale you got it at, not the color, not the nice fluorescent looks, but the fit. So the parts of a running shoe are the outer sole, the midsole which is over here, the heel counter, the tongue and the outer. These parts are important because this is what makes a shoe a well-fitting shoe. In general, the two main concepts that you need to know when you're dealing with a shoe is what we call the heel-toe drop. The heel of the foot is placed at a slightly higher position than the sole, that is the front part of your foot. And this drop can vary from zero drop, which is what you see normally in shoes like the Vibrams, as you can see over here, right? And it can go up to 12 mm in shoes that have a lot of cushioning. Don't make any drastic differences in the heel-toe drop because if you consider that you're going to take about 5,000 to 6,000 steps for 5 kilometers of running, then it's important to understand that the stresses on your calf muscles are very, very different if your heel-toe drop changes. So on my right you can see that we have the Vibrams, which is the classical barefoot shoe, and on my left is the regular running shoe. I'm not a person who advises against barefoot running. There are definitely a lot of advantages of barefoot running. The only problem is when we transition too quickly into barefoot running. It's similar to choosing a heel-toe drop that is way off what you're normally used to running. If you're used to running with a large heel-toe drop, it's good to first come down on the heel-toe drop and do smaller distances with the shoes or zero-drop shoes or barefoot shoes before you move on to going completely barefoot. So the other concept that I would like to introduce you to is what we call pronation. Right? In general, when we go running, our foot tends to roll inwards. Concept of pronation, underpronation and overpronation. However, there is also a great movement towards advising people to buy shoes based on how their foot rolls. The thing that we need to know is when you tend to roll outwards and you have a flat foot, the front of the foot tends to splay. So when you choose a shoe and you are flat-footed, you tend to have a wider front. So like this shoe would help a lot if you had a flat foot because it's much wider up front. Otherwise you would crowd up in the front and your toes would not fall well, and that would lead to a lot of foot pain. That's very important when you choose a shoe for a flat-footed person. Each of these feet require a different kind of fit from the shoe. A high-arched shoe would require your laces to be a little looser and allow a little space on the top of the shoe, whereas a flat foot requires a larger toe box right up in front because the foot splays and the forefoot is a much wider shoe. But most of our shoes tend to be made for normal feet with normal arches. The important things you need to look for to say that a shoe is worn out are not on top. If you wash a shoe, it's going to look nice and new and shiny. Like these two shoes, they look very good. But one of them is almost ready to throw and the other one is just getting started. And when you look at their soles, you look closely out here and you can see that the outer sole is worn out on this shoe, while this shoe still retains all its threads. This is a sign of wear, and this sign of wear means that this shoe would probably require replacing soon enough. If you look at it from the side, you can see that that streak of orange which indicates the undersole is almost gone, and the streak of black here which indicates the outersole is quite healthy. Yeah. Runners are heel strikers. Unfortunately, we'd like to be midfoot runners, but not all of us are. And clearly the wear patterns of a forefoot runner would tend to be out front here, a midfoot runner would be around the middle over here, and a heel striker would tend to wear out the shoe over here. Depending on where your shoe wears out is also a good diagnostic to tell you on what you're putting your weight on. The second thing that wears out is if you tend to have an inner roll, then the shoe wears on the outer side. And if you tend to be flat-footed, the shoe tends to wear more towards the inner side of the shoe. If you end up having foot pain with a shoe that you've not been having a problem at all for months, it's probably because it's gotten old. And it's probably time to change that, right? if you are going to change your shoes, it's always good to bring in another pair of shoes and alternate it for a little while before you change over completely to a new pair of shoes. Having two pairs of running shoes is a good idea because shoes, unlike our bodies, have a recovery time. When you go ahead to choose a shoe, it's important to look at a few things. Wear the shoe, run in it, see whether you really like the feel of it. If you even have a little bit of a discomfort for taking the few steps that you do in a shoe store, then that shoe is not going to work over 5 kilometers. So it's not a good shoe to buy. The other thing is, don't buy a shoe straight after you try it. Try it, come back, try it again. Be convinced that you like the fit and you like the way it holds your foot. Please make sure you have at least 1 finger breadth space in front of your big toe, because as you run, your foot rocks in and out of the shoe, and then you need that space to not damage all your toenails up front. Given a choice of shoes, you would want to choose the lightest shoe available. The lightest shoe available makes you run way more efficiently, and that helps you in getting better timings and preventing injury. Run clean, run responsible, run DRHM 2018.